Hey guys, and welcome to Weird Things in West Covina. My name is Gloria,
And I'm Hannah.
and today we're talking about Moe the Monkey, and this story is bananas.
That was so bad. Why did you
What?
I think it's funny. Bananas and chimps?
Yes.
Alright. I see what you did there.
Moe the Monkey was a chimpanzee owned by James and LaDonna Davis, who cared for Moe in 1967 to 2004. Then he was taken to an animal sanctuary. Let's talk about how he got there.
This is gonna be a long story. Now, Moe the Monkey was...
He was a chimpanzee, and he was a pet brought from out of state by a local guy in West Covina.
With Moe, the situation was that where Moe bit a part of a woman's finger off, and according to ABC, where I guess Moe thought it was licorice because the woman had her nails painted red.
Really?
At least that's what his owners claim. And licorice was Moe's favorite snack. It was strange.
I haven't heard that. The thing is, what I first heard is the first time Moe bit someone was the news reporter. So Moe became a big hit in West Covina. Everyone loved him. Everyone wanted to meet Moe. And so a news reporter went to the house and was interviewing Moe, and he stuck his hand out to pet Moe, put his hand in front of the chimpanzee's face, and he got bit. And from there, he sued the news reporting company, and he sued the owners of...
I think it's crazy that people were like, you're allowed to have a chimpanzee in your home. Because it's in West Covina, so I'm assuming this is like a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. Like, I'm not expecting... It is a... You're more familiar with the actual house, though. So
yes, so I live like close by that house, and I grew up all my life knowing about Moe the Monkey because my parents knew about it. They grew up with that story, and now that I live so close to it, I've actually seen them tear down the house, seen them renovate it. And I mean, it looks like a normal house now, and you'd never know that there was a monkey in there.
It looks like a normal house.
It looks like a normal house now. You should have seen it before. So the lady that lived there, the wife, was actually a hoarder. And so the guy was too, but after the attack, he kind of was on bed rest, so he didn't do any of that. But the wife was definitely a hoarder. I walked through their house once, just to get a ball that went over a fence, and man, it was kind of crazy in there.
So this was like the main event about Moe the Monkey, and this was what made him very popular. It was when, so Moe was sent to a sanctuary after he bit the woman's finger, and the news reporter. So there's 2 incidents: the news reporter and the lady, and I guess like his owners, the husband and wife, went to visit him with a cake, and it was Moe and it was 2 other chimpanzees. I guess they were all in the same enclosure. And the Moe's owners, like his parents, gave him a cake, and I guess the other 2 chimpanzees became very jealous.
No, okay, so what had actually happened was they had brought Moe the Monkey out of the enclosure, like into a room, but the worker there left the door open.
Oh,
like closed, but like still open. Still
like you're able to open it.
Yes,
it wasn't locked.
It wasn't locked. So the other chimpanzee saw that Moe the Monkey went in there and that there was food and he could smell it, and he went into that room. When he saw the cake, the first thing he did was attack the woman. So he didn't even attack the man. He attacked the women, and so that was the wife, and then the husband jumped in front of her to protect her.
Yeah.
So she got a finger bitten off, and then the husband got his nose bitten off. He was basically just mauled
like brutally mauled.
Yes, he was mauled by the chimpanzee before, and then after they got him off and they got the chimpanzee. But as soon as the other chimpanzee ran into the room and started to attack the wife, Moe ran off.
Yeah.
And since the sanctuary was not far from a forest, he went to that forest.
He was in the forest, and since Moe had grown up his whole life with the daisies, so he had no real natural instinct. Like, he never had gone through wildlife.
No.
So he was... I'm sure he starved. I know a lot of sources said that he probably starved to death because he didn't know how to hunt. He didn't know how to.
No, he didn't know how to do anything. And I guarantee you, with other predators in the
with other because it's a forest.
I mean, there's gonna be other stuff. I mean, after the incident and after Moe the monkey was in the forest, they actually did a search and rescue for Moe.
Yeah, for years.
But after finding nothing,
they can't do much.
They can't do much. So, and I mean, it was a monkey, and it was all paid by the guy who got mauled.
Yeah, the Daisies.
Yeah, the husband.
The husband.
So he paid for it all, but eventually, they ran out of money. There was no evidence of him being there. And I mean, people say that if you go into that forest, you can see in the trees or something. Or like years after, people were saying like, "Oh, I saw Moe the monkey," but it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that they'd actually see the chimpanzee.
And also, what are the chances that Moe is in a tree? Like, let's be real. Like, real.
Moe lived in the basement of the house.
Like, Moe did not have much life experience. No. He lived in the basement. They would cut, like, if licorice is his favorite snack, like, let's be real. Like, I don't think Moe was out there hunting.
No.
Or picking berries. Like, Moe was not doing all that.
No.
So, I think that definitely attributes to it. And, oh my gosh.
So Moe going to the sanctuary was not actually the owner's idea.
Yeah, I know. It was forced. It was
forced because the reporter sued.
Yeah, so it was enforced by law enforcement that Moe were to be in a sanctuary instead of the home because the home wasn't fit.
Right, and you had said earlier that it's like that, it was weird that they would allow it. It wasn't allowed.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
It was not allowed. It went for years with them being so famous about it and Moe not being really dangerous that they let them keep it, although they kept it very tightly. And as Moe got more and more famous, they realized they really couldn't do anything. And right after the lawsuit happened and Moe was taken, they started putting up signs saying honk to bring back Moe. So on that street, which is the street, if you guys look up the house, you can actually look up Moe the Monkey house, and it'll tell you where it is. It's on Vincent. So in West Covina, if you go on Vincent, it's a main street, and they put right in front of the house. They put up these big signs that said "honk to bring back Moe" because they wanted all the support. And you would go on that street and you'd hear honking all the time, just honk.
I never understood the point of that. Like, sorry to derail the topic, but what is honking gonna do? It's not. It
wasn't the fact that it was honking. It was getting supporters.
Getting support, I guess. But even then, it's a wild monkey. But
the
poor thing did not how big is a basement of a home? It's not very.
It's not. No.
That's such
very low, very small,
dark, cold,
Although they did set it up for him, although it wasn't.
I mean, I guess I don't know the setup of Moe's home of how it was, but I can't imagine it was a fulfilled life for him. I can't imagine. And actually, I want to bring in a quote brought in from. So there's an ape expert, Deborah Fouts. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. She's the director of the Chimp and Human Communication Institute at Central Washington University. Mm-hmm. And she said that the attack was from jealousy from the other monkeys.
Right, because they saw that Moe was getting a cake and Moe was getting attention.
Yeah, and this was her quote. "Chimpanzees have a real sense of right and wrong and fairness and unfairness," said Fouts, who has worked with chimps for 4 decades. It sounds like people were showering a lot of attention on Moe's birthday cake, and perhaps other chimps were jealous of Moe. Which, the way she said, and people were showering a lot of attention on Moe. So does that mean that Moe was allowed to have visitors The public?
Yes, so the sanctuary was an open sanctuary because, of course, you know, they have to have money to bring people in and keep the animals. So when they went, you know, Moe the Monkey would walk up to the class or to the fence or whatever, and people would be like, oh my gosh, it's Moe the Monkey, and, you know, shower him with attention. And I guess the cake was kind of the final straw for the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And I do know that the couple announced that it was Moe's birthday and that they were going to the sanctuary, so I believed other people went.
Other people watched them
Yes.
get mauled?
Well, I mean, they couldn't do anything.
I did not know that part of the story.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's crazy.
So
huh?
I did prior research on Moe the Monkey, and of the 5 news sources I looked at, not a single one of them thought to mention that other people watched it. Okay, to explain how badly mauled the Davies were, ABC said about the husband, he nearly bled to death 3 times, as 2 hospitals denied him entry before a trauma center agreed to take him. For a hospital to deny you entry is extreme. For 2 hospitals to deny you entry, that's horrible.
Yeah, that shows you how bad he was, and it kind
where hospitals did not feel like they had the resources or like the ability to help him.
Yeah, and then don't get it wrong, they weren't denying him because of who he was or what he was doing. They denied him because they did not have the resources for it. They just did not. They weren't able to take care of him the way he needed. If hospitals can't take care of you and they do accept you, they can get sued for malpractice.
They would be liable for
Yes. So, you know, they weren't denying him. They denied him strictly because they did not have the resources, and they would put themselves in a lot of legal trouble.
They put them at risk. Like, they're
Yes.
putting themselves at risk.
Yes.
And also they're putting the risk of the husband, because if they don't have the resources, he is going to.
Yeah, so imagine if he went to one of those hospitals and they didn't have the resources and he passed. I mean, he lived for, I think he lived up to be about 70 years old. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know the exact, but he lived like a pretty average life.
Yes.
Like a lifespan.
And while as he got older, some of those conditions did hit him harder, and he ended up having bed rest and having a nurse. You know, he was still with his wife. He was still in his home.
And when he was mauled, he was still conscious, like in the hospital. He was still conscious because in an interview he said with the Daily News, he said that he heard someone say, might as well take him to the coroner's office. And that's horrible. Like, imagine being mauled by 2 random monkeys after you were just trying to visit.
It was only 1.
It was 2.
It was 2?
2 female chimps.
Oh wow! I did not know that. I knew that they had gotten jealous because of the cake, and that
It was
so the worker left the door open.
Yeah, it was 2 female chimps that mauled him, and literally, like, it was. Imagine how horrifying that must feel. You're in the hospital. You're like constantly in and out. Like, you're just driving around in an ambulance at that point.
Yeah, that's
because the hospitals are just denying you entry, and you just hear someone say, "Might as well take him to the corner." Like, how horrible
is that?
Like,
I mean,
that's already traumatic enough.
And even if he doesn't remember it, I mean, definitely the wife.
Yeah,
because the wife was with him the entire time. So I want to tell you a little bit about the wife. So they got married very, very young. I believe they were just turning 18 or just turning 19. And he had asked her to marry him, and then he left state for 2 years.
Oh.
And then he came back with a monkey, and then they got married.
Hold on.
And you can actually see the wedding photo where Moe the Monkey is dressed in a tuxedo.
I've seen that photo, and we'll insert a photo here. But like, I heard of that. We're like,
I believe it was 2 years.
No.
Yeah, he said no.
And
then they had arranged to get married, and because it wasn't her asking.
Yeah.
They arranged together to get married, and then he said no, left state, brought back a monkey, and got married to her.
Yeah. So imagine you meet the person, you're like, oh my god, I think this is the person for me.
I'm gonna marry them.
They're like, nah, they dip out of state. and you're like living your own life. You're trying to heal, because I'm sure she had to heal from that. Like that must
Oh,
feel
definitely.
horrible. You thought you were gonna live out your life with someone, and they just leave. And then imagine they come back 2 years later with a monkey named Moe, like
Yes.
with a chimp, like
A chimpanzee, right? Like
and she still said yes.
It's kind of
She
crazy.
still said
I'm
yes.
not sure because I when I read all the reports and everything about that, it wasn't for fact sure if she knew what he was going out of state for. But it kind of seems unlikely because why wouldn't she go with her? You know?
Yeah.
If they wanted this monkey together, why didn't he go with her?
Moe was a spontaneous decision on his part. Like, because I can't imagine, like, what you need to do to set up getting a monkey in the first place. Like, because I'm sure he paid a lot of money for Moe. Because Moe was definitely not legal in any way. So I'm sure he had to pay someone a lot of money. Like, I've heard different prices, so don't quote me on this, but... Like, I've heard, like, upwards of 12 grand for a monkey.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Well, if you get them, like, shipped from out of country,
it makes
they're less.
sense. Like, I guess it makes sense, but, like, at the same time, like, it's insane to me that you're willing to spend that much money. Like, you could buy a nice car. Like, you could
pay for rent for 2 months.
With 12 grand?
Wait.
Girl, it's more than 2 months.
Rent?
I don't know where you're fucking 2 months.
Okay, 3 months.
Girl.
Utilities? Okay, first of all, rent is $1,000. Then you have utilities. You have gas, electricity, water.
I feel like it's 2 grand a month. This is very off topic to Moe the Monkey.
We're gonna move back to Moe the Monkey.
Move back to Moe the Monkey. Okay. But honestly, like, I wonder what was, because that was like their son, because they didn't have any children.
They couldn't have children.
They couldn't have children. So I just wonder.
Did they plan that?
To not have children?
No, did they plan to have the monkey as a child because they couldn't have children?
I believe so.
Right?
Because that feels like the most plausible, because chimpanzees are very similar to humans. And I guess that was like the next best fit for them. And they're doing construction on the NPR right now, and I guess as we started filming, they just decided to start.
Let's run the concrete thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Let's start mixing concrete. This better be worth it. But like, honestly, it's just insane to me that like they just have a chimp. Like, yeah, I would be horrified of Moe biting. Like, I get scared of my cat biting me. Like, I can't imagine a chimp.
It's like I feel like something weird had to go on in both of their heads. So it's like people are like, we can't have children, let's adopt. Okay? People are like, we can't have children, let's get a cat.
Dog.
Let's get a dog. Let's get a cat. Let's get a bird. But a chimpanzee?
It was very abnormal, definitely.
Yes.
But I want to like also preface this, like, I don't know about you, but I watched Planet of the Apes. I don't know if you remember.
I never watched that.
It was absolutely. I watched it at 8 years old with my dad, and I cried. I cried. Not because like I guess I can't really remember the movie, but the ending was like emotional or whatever. But like, I was horrified of chimps.
Oh my
like,
gosh, they like literally take over the world. Like, no, I know the movie. Like, I think everyone knows the movie.
Everyone knows the movie.
But it's like chimps take over the world. Like, what are we supposed to do? You know? And I guess there's kind of a
chimps are like, I'm horrified of monkeys. I don't know why. I'm horrified of monkeys. Like,
I love chimps.
They're insanely strong. Like, they could easily overpower me. They could bite me. Like, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, like, imagine a bite.
Yeah, I don't think people realize chimps are very strong. And
chimps
I mean, people are like, oh, humans are as strong as chimps. Like, I've heard people say that. It's not.
It's not comparable.
Yeah, it's not comparable. But then also, humans know how to control their strength. Like, very much. Chimps know how to control their strength to a degree, but they will maul you.
They'll maul you.
Yeah.
Like, a human can maul you. Like, humans are able to bite off their own fingers.
Right, we just don't because
we
know it's painful.
Like,
but if
a chimp, it's their natural instinct, like, to just chomp.
Exactly.
Like,
and
it's not
they
ours.
Have very strong jaws.
Like, they will That's horrifying to think about. That they're that strong.
Crazy, huh? Which I recommend never to do. Never put your hand in front of a monkey's
Any animal's face.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's just not wise.
It's not.
Like, don't put your hand in front of a human's face either. We don't know what they can do. We don't.
They're gonna bite off your finger.
Hey, some people might.